Now, do you remember the contempt case against Ken Agyapong in the High Court and the Supreme Court decision that was the trial judge asking him to recuse himself from the case? You remember that? Well, tonight, the Supreme Court judge, Justice Kulendi, has explained that the Supreme Court prohibited the judge presiding over the trial, Justice Amos Wunta-Wuni, from continuing the case because he had made comments that he showed that his mind was made up on the case even before the MP would open his defense. The judge summoned the Asin Central MP to answer charges of contempt for allegedly going on live television to use unprintable words on the High Court judge. This is the first time the judge is explaining the judgment publicly.
Ties to anything they are over familiar with. So if you man a police cell, you've never been in that cell, your attitude will be different from the one who is manning it, who has been in there before. And if you man the sanctuary of justice, you are the chief priest. I mean, you should see how judges can sign orders without seeing the prisoners. The law doesn't even allow that. But it's a measure of how you can become desensitized. What can I do? In the way that the system works, sometimes there's not much you can do at a personal level beyond what your official space allows you to do. So as a justice of the Supreme Court is the highest appellate court. And so really, by the time the matter comes to you, the matter would have been appealed, the trial would have gone on, the person is convicted, and then speaking about criminal matters before it comes to you. And so it will be once in a while. So you're not like the magistrate or the circuit judge who goes to sit down every day and you have 50 or 20 or 30 criminal cases on your course list to deal with. It will come our way once in a while, and it is those who fight the system all the way up to the very last. So that is when I'll get to be working as a judge in a matter like that. But the good thing is that when you do, you can then lay the example and set the rules. And at that level, when you set the rules, then every court must follow the rules.
Justice Kulendi also noted that some of the bottlenecks in the criminal justice delivery system is because some judges and magistrates, as well as police officers, have not tasted prison before to appreciate the difficulties over there.
And it had to do with Ken Agyapong, the MP, who made some comments about a judge and then got arraigned before a high court for contempt. So my big brother took me on and said, but you, it's people like you who create the problems because you wrote the judgment of the Supreme Court that let the man free. Because I wrote the majority opinion, it was a unanimous opinion of the Supreme Court. When he went to the Supreme Court, his lawyers went to the Supreme Court seeking to quash what the judge had done and to prohibit the judge from continuing to hear his case. And it turned on simple things. So first of all, I'm a judge. So if anybody threatens a judge, I cannot be amused. The matter that came to us, we're not supposed to determine whether he was guilty of contempt of court or not. We were supposed to determine whether the judge who was trying him for contempt had conducted himself in a way, said or written things which show that he had lost an impartial judicial mind to be fair to to the man who was standing before him. And the simple reason for which we prohibited him from continuing the case was that the guy says, you come and prove that you are not in contempt of this court. Otherwise, you will be severely punished. Now, for me as a judge, it means that this judge has already made up his mind about the degree of punishment you are going to suffer. A judge is not allowed to do that.